Welcome to episode 2 of Healthy Scratches. We got Frankie, we got YP, we got me, JSB. We're going to be hearing from people all over the Barstool community, checking in, lots of hockey content. This is the hub. This is essentially the new NHL network. No big deal. We just destroyed the scene. And guys, I think a good start.
Yeah, yesterday was a good start. I mean, I got chirped again for looking like Seth MacFarlane. I don't know what that is. I don't know why.
At least not Ellen.
Ellen, I thought we were going to look like Ellen on these chairs. That's what I said
yeah,
to the person yesterday. It's a very Ellen chair. But yeah, I thought it was good, and I'm really excited to get the entire crew in. I mean, it's good to hear from everyone around the country and all different fan bases, so it's going to be really good. I think this is going to be the
dress code, too, we got to evolve, Frankie. Yeah. We had a tough day yesterday. I'm repping Chesterfield Falcons, a little bit of going with a jersey look. I can't look good. Like, yesterday was just trash when I tried to look good, so we're just going the other way.
This is like a very minor league sort of healthy scratch look. It's a little bit disheveled. Yeah, we will be as we continue on this journey. Speaking of that, we got playoffs starting tomorrow, and some of the games are on an unconventional network. We've got Jordy to discuss that. Let's go.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs don't start until tomorrow, but you'll never believe this. Hockey fans, they already found something to bitch about. That something, of course, is the fact that Games 4 in both the Devils vs. Lightning series as well as the Ducks vs. Sharks series, well, they'll be broadcasted on not NBC, not NBCSN, not CNBC, MSNBC versus the Outdoor Life Network, whatever. These games will be broadcasted on the Golf Channel. Now, I know what you're thinking to yourself right now. Hockey on the Golf Channel? How wacky is that? Well, to answer your question, it's pretty dang wacky. It's also pretty dang ironic considering that whatever team loses these games could potentially find themselves on the golf course by the end of next weekend. But for the most part, the reaction has been overwhelmingly negative, and people seem to be pretty peeved off, to say the least. My only response to those people is, well, what the fuck were you expecting? I mean, this is the National Hockey League. Since when do we expect Gary Bettman and his band of idiots to be anything close to competent when it comes to marketing the game and the star players? I mean, we see it every single year. Unless it's the Chicago Blackhawks or some made-up rivalry between Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin, the league does nothing at all to market itself. NBC knows that, so they said, all right, bitches, have fun on the Golf Channel. Hopefully people still have it on from the Masters and you can catch some accidental ratings. All I'm trying to say is that we should just start to expect the incompetence at this point. I mean, a couple of potential elimination games being broadcasted on a channel that's dedicated to an entirely different sport, that's just another day in the NHL, baby.
All right, Jordy, the original Healthy Scratch with some hot takes there. Are you guys kind of pissed off that hockey's on the Golf Channel?
I mean, like Jordy said, there is no surprise when it comes to the way the NHL markets themselves. I mean, you can see it every year in the All-Star game. It's just the most awkward production that you've ever watched. They either have the wrong singer, they just have the wrong, like, just entertainment in general.
Random.
It's just always just random.
Well, they had Kid Rock this year who was sort of like entrenched in controversy.
I know Snoop Dogg's been kind of like on the scene in hockey right now. They released a bunch of videos actually recently of him doing like promos. But when he did it, like the entire crowd just sat there and watched. I mean, primarily probably because it's not the biggest Snoop Dogg crowd. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Jordy. I mean, there's no surprise for me.
Yeah, and especially now that it's like we get it. All right, these guys are gonna fuck up almost everything. Let's just admit it and give us a behind the scenes. Like, get us someone in that room. Like, I know they're gonna make trash decisions, but it's like I want to see what they were thinking. They're like, all right, this is gonna kill it. We'll get Susan Sarandon in between the glass. Yes. People are gonna love this. Like, at least give us like that satisfaction to watch the bad decision.
Yeah, the decision-making process of like, this is a really good idea.
Yeah, like they killed the outdoor games in the 24/7 or what's it called? The Road to the Winter Classic.
Those 24/7s were awesome. It was appointment TV, and then they switched them to Epics, and it was like there was no more cursing. There was
and then all the stadium series where it was like you take one good thing in the Winter Classic and let's just go overload with it, and you're like, man, I don't like it anymore.
So give me that for these decisions. That's riveting to me.
And to Jordy's point, he put out that like you kind of think, oh, maybe it's a scheduling conflict, but there's literally nothing else on like some of the local NBC channels. So that kind of sucks. But if you are, I think some of the games, it was like Devils and Lightning and then Ducks and Sharks. If you're fans of those teams, you're going to watch like the local broadcast rather than some of the NBC. So
or
just
stream it or something anyways.
Yeah, you're not watching the Golf Channel most likely. And if you are, then hopefully you don't have, as Jordy said, like Patrick Reed or whatever between the benches or something. All right, so we got a lot of playoff stuff. Pittsburgh and Philly. We know this matchup well. 2012 Eastern Conference quarterfinals was a insane bloodbath, essentially. Both teams just annihilating each other. Even the coaches at the time, Dan Bosma, Peter Laviolette, barking at each other. Yeah. First of all, what do we expect, just quickly?
I mean, Philly's on a heater right now. It would be a shock to me if they can pull this off, but they have been shocking the world recently. I mean, Voracek's been hot. He's up there in the points leaders, but obviously you got Malkin, Crosby, and Kessel all in the top 10 in scoring again. These guys are firing all cylinders. There's no chance that Philly has anything to do with this series. It's going to be Pittsburgh, no doubt.
Yeah, I think goaltending's a problem for them as well, and I think that it's not just Malkin, Crosby, and Kessel. They're so deep.
So
with
deep.
Gensel, Sheary, Brassard now as well, and not the back end as well. They have a lot of skilled players. Letang, I like Alexiak. These guys, I'm telling you, I really think they could do it. Three-peat. I'm dead serious.
Wow, that would be insane. But yeah, you don't want to be betting against a two-time champion,
No.
Sid the Kid, Kessel, as you said, Malkin. Flyers, they got some big balls right now, especially being from Philly. They think they can win stuff because they won the Super Bowl. Claude Giroux, you mentioned Voracek. Claude Giroux's been on a tear. He could be a Hart Trophy candidate, but we're all Pittsburgh here. Let's head to the Heartland, guys, Nick and Booze, to see what the pulse is in this matchup.
JSP, YP, Frankie, thanks for having us. I'm Nick, he's Booze. Heartland, Snipe, Selly, every Thursday night. Check it out. We're going to talk the premier matchup of the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference. We're talking Pittsburgh. We're talking Philadelphia. Look at the great teams to go back to back to back. Canadians, Islanders, Lakers, Bulls. The list goes on. Add Pittsburgh to it, okay? This isn't going to be like 2012. It's not going to be a gong show. It's not about slashes and whacks. It's about lighting the lamp. This one's all offense.
Listen. I will agree with you that this is not going to be like 2012. It's not going to be an absolute bloodbath.
And we're going to keep this civil.
We are going to keep this civil.
We're going to keep this civil.
But the Flyers don't need any of that. We have enough skill to beat you in the game as itself. We have 5 20-plus goal scorers this year. We have a very offensive defense. And we have our boy back in Elliott. I mean, I think the Flyers, this is the year that they can make a very deep run in the playoffs, and that starts with kicking the shit out of Pittsburgh round 1.
You also have terrible possession stats. You have one of the worst penalty kills in the league. The Pens have the best power play this league has seen all year. Phil Kessel, Evgeny Malkin, Sid Crosby. What are you going to stop those with? Radko Gudas?
Well, that's
Andrew
all,
McDonald? Are you kidding me?
That's all we need to do is just keep it to 5-on-5, and we have enough goal scorers and an offensive defense to just kick the shit out of you there.
Even PFT commenter tried. He tried to get Lil B, the base god, involved, tried to curse the Pens. He saw through that fake news. He said, flip it around, bless the Penguins, bless up.
Oh, get the hell out of here with that crap.
Listen, Flyers fans, deep down, they're scared. They're scared to admit it. They're going to show up. They're going to be loud. They're going to be proud. They're going to use the same tired old jokes about Crosby being a baby and a diver, but they know this is already over before it's even started.
Next thing you're going to say, Sheets is better than Wawa, you stupid
It is.
Ginzer. Are you nuts? Get the hell out of here.
Are you kidding me?
All right, thanks, Nick and Booze. That was some awesome stuff. Love seeing that feisty energy coming together.
Those guys are really going at it. I didn't know Booze was a Philly guy. I thought they were both going to be Pittsburgh guys, so that was surprising. And to hear the word Islanders, I mean, my ears perked up. I sat up in my seat when he's talking about.
That's the only time you're going to hear Islanders from here on out.
I think
unless
so.
we're talking about
biggest
July
disappointment.
1st.
Yeah, July 1st.
First of all, just real quick, yesterday the Islanders had like this ridiculous end of the year interview, and Garth Snow and the owners and everyone was there. And it was the most awkward thing of all time. And I swear to God, I think John Tavares was there and he was just looking at it. He's like, this is a fucking shit show.
Right, because he knows he's going.
No, he's not
Yeah,
going,
he's
but I
going
think they need to clean it up.
another
Please,
team we're
Islanders,
gonna talk
please
about
clean it up. This is the last time I'll ask you
Toronto.
on this goddamn show.
Clean
Just
it
clean
up.
it up.
Come to
Clean it
Toronto.
up.
To the last decade.
Yeah, we're
Just
gonna
clean
do
it
that.
up in the next week or two.
All right, well, another local team in sort of the tri-state area that is going to the playoffs. Obviously not the Islanders, but the Devils, 8 seed, taking on a #1 seed in the Tampa Bay Lightning. This, to me, has upset written all over it. Devils have been on a streak. They've got this real brotherhood coming together. Keith Kincaid is somehow now a Vezina winner, essentially, at this point. Taylor Hall, incredible. Yeah. I can see this one not going at all in the way of Tampa's favor. Steven Stamkos has missed 4 of the last 7 games, too. So they're kind of not necessarily huge confidence going to this one.
I mean, if this was December or November, I think Tampa wins this series in 3 games.
Yeah.
They were so hot. Kucherov scored every single shot. The problem is, it's not December anymore, and guess what? The Devils are hot right now. No pun intended. That was kind of like a hell joke. You get it?
Yeah,
the Devils
like
are hot.
Satan and
Listen,
fire.
Miles Wood, Patrick Maroon, these guys play a heavy game, a simple game. I think that, Vasilevsky's kind of been burnt out, it seems like. I don't know, man. I think if Tampa can get through this series and get rolling, they could easily win the cup. But they may be dead in the water before they even start. I got the Devils.
Every year we always say it's all about how you get into the playoffs. It's like what team, you look at the standings, say what team is now getting hot, getting into the playoffs, and that's the team to look for the upset. And they're 7-2-1 in their last 10. And let's not act like the Lightning don't still have an unbelievable
team. No, they've got
a
lot of offensive weapons.
Ryan McDonough and Dan Girardi are now back on the same line together. They're both playing.
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
Let's not make these Rangers jokes because they're just as much of a dumpster fire as anyone. But these guys are back together. They're looking for that magic that they had when they went on their Stanley Cup run against the Kings. So I really do think that there's a lot. This is going to be an unbelievable series. Yeah. I think it really is. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for the Lightning, but if I had to give my guess, I think the Devils pull it out.
Yeah, and I mean, they got that #1 seed because the Bruins had it in their grasp and they let it slip away in the last game of the season to Florida. Let's hear from Rear Admiral, who thinks that the Bruins are going to beat the Toronto Maple Leafs.
What's up there, healthy scratches? Rear Ad here, letting you know why the Bruins are going to stomp the Toronto Maple Leafs. First off, you got Julie Stewart, jinx, as in the 20th now. 25 years without a cup up there, or is it 35? I don't know. It's been so long. It's going to continue. Leafs ain't going to beat the Bruins. I'm sorry. They got great offense. I'm sorry. I was going to say offense. They got killer offense, eh? Marlowe, Mana, Matthews, obviously, Kadri, JVR. They're going to kill you, but bottom line is B's got a better defense overall. Better goaltending, and that's going to be the difference, man. It's going to get lost in that area. Bruins' depth is going to take advantage of the matchups and come through. The bottom six is going to be a big deal. And Tuukka's going to outplay Freddie Anderson. He's just a better goalie, all due respect to Freddie. So that's that. Julie Stewart, jinx.
All right, the joke's on you. Yes, I'm Julie Stewart, jinx. I'm like, which one am I today? Drinks, rinks, I'm jinx. And I used to work with the Boston Bruins, so get that in your head because now you're fucked, okay? Toronto Maple Leafs, this is a new year. I remember 2013 like no other. I got crazy food poisoning. I have been essentially depressed playoff-wise since then, except for last year. Let's not forget the Toronto Maple Leafs were an 8 seed, and they took the Washington Capitals to 6 games. They were even ahead in that series. This is a new team with Austin Matthews. He didn't even play 3 of the 4 games against the Bruins this year, and they won that series. Defense, yes, good for the Bruins, but that's not everything that is going to decide this series. Leafs have heart, Leafs have scoring. Freddie Anderson now has the most wins in Leafs history. Toronto is going to the second round and beyond.
Wow, I mean, that's some response.
I've been waiting to go. Yeah.
There's nothing I look forward to more than the Toronto fan base all standing outside their arena. They're all watching that big screen. They have that flyover cam. Everyone's going fucking nuts. And then they lose. It's the best feeling ever. I know what those fans feel like. I feel it every year, and I love to watch other fans.
But no one will ever understand, unless you are a Leafs fan, that collapse in 2013 is a nightmare scenario.
I mean, I don't think you have to be a Leafs fan. That was devastating.
Can we just shout out Rear Ads? I mean, the guy looks like he just came out of like a 2-year binge of just watching The Godfather on repeat and listening to Rolling Stones vinyl. I mean, Rear,
he's great. And we love Rear and we love Spittin' Chicklets. And also, can we just say it's a travesty that the Leafs and Bruins are meeting each other in the first round. They're only 7 points apart. They're essentially both extremely stacked. Yeah. And now one of those teams, and the playoffs are set up so weird that, like, the Jets and the Predators can meet each other in like the next round too, and then we end up losing really good teams when they could face each other later on. Let's get to our final series, and that is Columbus taking on, actually, before we get there, what do you guys think, Bruins or Leafs? Forgot.
Oh.
Off the top of the head, it's Bruins. No doubt for me.
I mean, I think Bruins are a heavy team. They got a lot of big veteran players, but Dermott, Gardner, Riley, I think they're too skilled on the back end. They're
you have a look in your eye right now. You're not.
I'm waiting. I don't know which side he's going.
I'm on the Leafs. I think people are going to be angry. Like, the Bruins bandwagon is hot right now.
It's hot. It's hot.
I'm sorry to do it, but it's.
But they're winning games late. Like they have a story.
I know, but they always give up that first goal too. That's not good. They
You have to admit they have a storyline though.
They've done really well.
They do,
like
but
I can't.
so do the Leafs.
That's the
As soon as they
thing.
get through, it's going to be
The Leafs
crazy.
have just like slowly just been like they've been good this year. They haven't.
But
they
then
haven't
from
had that, like,
January
fire.
until now, they've gone like 24-8-3 or something like that.
Yeah,
Definitely
they're
Marner
hot too.
Yeah, Marner.
Wait till Richmond Hill
Freddie.
gets popping, Sauga City.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's going to be, I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
the
it's going to
6,
be wow.
the 905, you know, the 647, they're going to be hopping. Okay, what also is going to be hopping is potentially Washington or Columbus. These two meet each other. I'd say Capitals, they have to win this series or they're dead.
I mean,
Ovi's
Julie,
dead if they don't win this series.
I mean, I don't know. I got the team with the right-handed left winger, skilled Russian. I'm talking about Artemi Panarin. And I'm
The bread
talking
maker.
about the Columbus Blue Jackets. Listen, they're hot right now. I think the penalty kill tactician Bradshaw's going to put Ovechkin in a vice grip. We're not just going to let him stand at the top of the circles and bombs away. I don't know, man. I think the Blue Jackets, no one's really talking about them right now compared to the Capitals, but look at the line charts. They got a solid team. Seth Jones-Werenski, that may be one of the best pairs in the entire league. How can you bet against them? I think the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wow.
Yeah, that defensive pairing, like you're saying, Seth Jones and Werenski. Werenski was in here. The guy can fucking play. He was shooting on Dave Portnoy. He couldn't get it done there, but he will. I think he will be able to get it done on the ice. But if I had to say, this is the first round, so it's not. The Capitals only lose in the second round, so they're going to get through the first round. They're always good for a second round exit. If I had to choose right now, it's Washington Capitals over Columbus,
Yeah.
and then just like every year, you know, we set our alarm clocks just for this second round. There goes Ovi again. He looks like he's going to do it every single year. It's like this is Ovi's year. It's never is. It's never.
And maybe it's like 6 or 7 games to Pittsburgh, and then done.
I will say though, however, the thing about Yzerman winning his first cup after his 1000th game or whatever, he could easily win one. Look at how LeBron for so long couldn't win one and then change the narrative. If Ovechkin won in 5 years, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. If he wins after this long, it'll kind of erase, as crazy as that sounds and how much of a joke he is, we're living in it. 10 years from now, if he wins one, it won't be as big of a difference.
Well, let's go to our Washington Capitals insider, Nate, for the final word on this matchup.
It's the Caps year. There's not even a question. Probably going to be Columbus in 5 because we're going to have to rest Ovi games 4 because, you know, he's just going to be tearing it up too much. There's no reason to get him hurt. Bring on the second round. We're going to win the second round in a cakewalk, and then we'll go from there. But it's going to be very easy, not a problem, very excited. I wish we could just fast forward right now because the Columbus Blue Jackets, they have no shot at all.
Great stuff, Nate. That was awesome insight. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here. We just broke down the Eastern Conference, of course. We're going to do the West tomorrow. Make sure you follow along on all great hockey stuff.
Is this actually going to be a sign-off? Because if so, I may have to quit the show.
The sign-off, guys.
This can't be.
It's like basically Don Cherry.
Yeah, Borat almost. Very nice.
That's the sign-off. Thumbs
You will
forward.
never get this.